biggest struggles as Costa Rica expat mom, and also I will cover Costa Rica for kids. How Costa Rica for kids if you moved here? Of course, this is my own story. You know, there are so many different experiences to share. There's people living in Costa Rica from all walks of life. And I decided to do this video live because it has been a while that I did it live. But it was a challenge to find a spot with not too much sun. You know, we live right close to the equator. That makes it, during this time of the day, we're going to the midst of the day, that the sun is above your head, and it gives really weird shades in your face, as if you're always super tired. So anyways, I decided to do it live. I'm gonna summarize 6 big struggles. And why am I making this video? Well, I strive to inspire and to teach people everything I have learned myself. So it's up to the viewer, up to you, if you can use it. Perhaps you don't even have kids, perhaps you don't even want to be a family and an expat in Costa Rica and just stumbled accidentally on my video. That's cool. But you know, I experienced a couple of big challenges as an expat, especially mom here, and you deserve to hear, because I know I have quite some followers who are thinking about moving to Costa Rica with kids. So just hear me out. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you watch this live, then after this live recording, it will be shown as just an uploaded video on my channel. There is always a link below my video to click to subscribe, but also icons on the screen to tap. And if you hit the bell, you get notified every time I go live. If that's what you like, you can ask me questions live as well. It's more connection. I prefer live a lot. And as you probably already know, is when I grab my selfie stick or shooting videos, my dogs are always close to me. So if you hear, it's one of my dogs. Here's Joey. Anyway, so let's just dive right in, right? My struggle number 1 as expat mom, Costa Rica expat mom. Of course, this is based on Costa Rica. I haven't been an expat in another country. I have been traveling a lot though with Dirk before we started a family. So that's the only thing I compare. We traveled through about 30 countries in the year 2002, 2003. And our firstborn was born in 2004. So that gives you a little bit of timeline about my life. And so struggle number 1 is that living abroad in a small town has its disadvantages. Where I live, a small town, I live actually not even in a small town. If you choose to live at the countryside like I do, or in a small town, or a little bit outside a small town, anything besides San Jose, other bigger cities where a lot of facilities are, be aware, I've learned this the hard way. It was my choice, my dream to live outside, outdoors. The countryside is perfect. Our property is breathing that. Look, we have a lot of space. Well, you've seen me making videos about that, right? But how about if you have teenagers? I have a teenager, she just became 18, and we brought her here when she was 14. Now, teenagers really strive to independence. There are some limitations in small town living and in a lot of places in Costa Rica. And I leave it up to you to decide, to discover where are you planning to move as Costa Rica expat, and just do your checklist. If you have kids, teenagers, check out this. What's the transportation facilities? Where I live, close to Santa Teresa Montezuma, there is just a public bus and it's not reliable. It has a bus schedule, but you know, there's just 1 or 2 buses. It's really, really limited. And it's hard because it just takes the main road. But a lot of people need to be somewhere up a hill, a little bit more off the road. A lot of people live a little bit rural. They don't live at the main road. So there's always a big chunk of walking if you take the bus. So for teenagers who do not have their own driver's license and their own vehicle, it is really a challenge. And with that, for their parents. That means that my biggest struggle was that my daughter wanted to, hey, Peppa, thank you so much. Oh, this is Sophie. I want to say, Peppa, to Joey, this is, well, anyway. Great to see you here. So for me as a mom was a challenge because my daughter wanted to become more independent from her parents, Dirk and me. But at the same time, she needed us to bring her everywhere. And we were in a challenging situation that by not giving her own vehicle, oh, why is bicycling not an option here? Because there's very aggressive driving here where I live on those remote roads. We have very bad infrastructure where I live. Although all the other benefits, I live here for all the benefits, but this video is about challenges. The benefits is you hear all those sounds of all the birds, like this is what I love, but my teenager doesn't love it so much because you cannot bike here. The driving behavior of quad drivers is very aggressive. The roads are so bad, it's not safe for bikes to bike. I'm from the Netherlands, so we are used to bike. That's not it. My kids can bike really well, but the automobiles, the vehicle, the motos are not really anticipating well on bikers. That's just what I've observed as core biker from the Netherlands. So transportation is really, really limited. And that sucks when you're a teenager and you're about 15, 16 and your mom or dad needs to bring you to a very loose date, right? That's not cool. So what do teenagers do quite often in these remote areas? They just hitchhike. Well, I brought my daughter to the bus and then she said, just go, Mom, because it's not cool when your mom is waiting at the bus stop with you. And then one time I saw her in secret jumping on the motorbike of one of her friends without a helmet. She got a ride, which was awesome, but dangerous. You see, you hear my struggle. That's a struggle. Oh, great, Pepe. Thanks for the tip. I'm often in Montezuma. It's close to my town, so thanks for that advice. And also, for teenagers, it's very limited in small towns like Montezuma, like Santa Teresa. It may seem paradise if you're vacationing here, but look through the eye of a teenager. You cannot be invisible, and teenagers once in a while want to be invisible. Small town, everyone knows you. If you had a lover and you broke up, you're gonna meet up each other every time. It's limited, so be aware if you're gonna be in a Costa Rica expat and you're moving to Costa Rica with kids, pick your spot smart. Or just have them experience it. Look, if your kiddo is a real surf addict, then probably they can keep themselves busy all day, all week long with surfing. But my kids don't have that with surfing. Another limitation for teens, for kids, expats in Costa Rica with kids is very limited school choice in small towns. In the San Jose area, the Liberia area, there's way more choice. With us, 2 potential optional schools that go from age 4 to age 18. And one of them provides what's the name? That you can go to university, RB. RB? Do I say that wrong? IB, sorry, IB. Just one. So basically there is no choice. There's just one school and it's a private school. It's an expat school. It's about $500 per month per child. And that's an exclusive school bus, exclusive the food plan. So, I'm just saying, know what you're talking about if you want to live where I live or somewhere more rural. I don't live remote because I have water, Electra and stuff. But I will come to that in a sec because there's another disadvantages according to that. But just does that make sense? It is also cool. Like, let me just touch on some advantages for my kids. My daughter speaks 3 languages fluid. She learned fluid English, fluid Spanish, and she met a lot of international minded people. So there's also a lot of advantages, but this video is about my struggles as Costa Rica mom, so that's what you're gonna get in this video. But don't think I'm only negativity. I'm not, but you deserve this video. Just let me know if you agree, right? That you want to hear the full stuff. Okay, struggle number 2 as expat mom is what I experience is that really living in an expat community, and Costa Rica has a lot of expat communities. You will probably, I hope not, but probably experience that friends will come, you will meet friends, but also friends will go. At least one time. And I experienced it and it made me cry. I was so fond of these people and our kids clicked, we clicked. We were so such amazing friends. We had pizza nights every week and we grew together into this life. And then they decided to leave Costa Rica after 2 years. And that meant that the friendship changed. Of course, we're still connected, but it's different. If people move out Costa Rica, friendships change. So just be aware of that. It's also part of being a Costa Rica expat, is that the advantage of it is that it's what I experience with my limited life experience as a 50-year-old entrepreneur. Who am I, right? I'm just sharing what I've learned. That it's easier to make deeper friendships fast. So you don't need like a year to really trust each other. You have something in common. You left something, you came in a new country, now you're sticking together. It can be really powerful, really beautiful. But as fast as those friendships can be established, so fast you can lose them because people decide to leave for all kinds of reasons. Sometimes for problems that they can't control. There's a family member sick in their country of origin, just to mention an example. Ready for struggle number 3? And Pepe is saying no mass shootings in Costa Rica. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I didn't hear that yet. Okay, I am so sorry to hear that. That's one of the things that I hear as well. A lot of people from the US come here because that's not happening here. I'm not saying there's no crime here, right? But you know that I did videos about it, but I'm so sorry to hear that. And for sure, that's why I also live at the countryside, to be outside of society. That's just my dream. But for kids, it's different, right? So but thanks for your input, Pepe. And again, I'm sorry. So my struggle number 3 as expat mom in Costa Rica is that literally also including for your kids, ordering simple stuff on Amazon can take ages and way more than you're used to paying for. When you live in Costa Rica, especially when you live on the peninsula where I live, you have to cross a lot of water as well. So every stuff that you need, practical stuff, hard products that needs to be in your home. Sometimes, you know, I'm very not materialistic. One of the things that I did with my kids and with myself before we moved as parents to Costa Rica is to get rid of all our stuff and just bring 2 suitcases. And that was for me an amazing experience, and I dare to say I haven't heard my kids thank me for it yet, but it was an experience for them to experience that stuff is just stuff and happiness doesn't come from stuff but from within you. So if you see our house now and our establishment here, you see so much new stuff. Stuff is for, you can buy stuff everywhere. But anyways, ordering stuff from Amazon can take ages. Here at my peninsula, de Nico, yeah, it's not mine, but you know, mine where I live. We have Santa Teresa Logistics. They provide you an address in Miami and then they ship it in and they deliver at your door, no matter where you live. But you pay per kilo extra on top. So I'm just saying, you know, be prepared for it. Basically, don't be disappointed if you find out later, but that's just a fact. Now, of course, in the capital in San Jose, it's way easier, but don't forget that there's not real addresses here. So you need to make more arrangements to just order something simple to get delivered. What takes like 2 days or 3 days max in your country of origin can take weeks and sometimes months to get delivered here. Are you prepared? Well, now you cannot say you didn't know. Let me continue with struggle number 4 as Costa Rica expat mom of the 6 that I'm going to mention in this video. And that is, I touched on it before, things that I was used to in North Europe, the Netherlands where I come from, but also I know it from friends in the United States and in Canada, people who live in big cities. I come from a big city, I'm a big city girl. The simple things, water from the tap, Electra from the wall, and Wi-Fi from, just Wi-Fi is always there. It's not the case in Costa Rica. So, and I'm not saying it's never a challenge for me. I'm gonna be bloody honest. It is a challenge. Peppa saying, we have been to Costa Rica 15 times, we'll be joining you soon. That would be so amazing. Peppa, I'm looking forward to your journey and I'm hoping that I can send you, I think you have been longer and often in Costa Rica than I am 4 years in a row if you visited 15 times already. I'm so excited for you to come here finally. and hopefully meet one day, who knows. But like, even in Santa Ana, wow, 1992 is Pepper sharing. Wow, that goes way back. You have seen all the changes probably. Also, seeing the fiber optic coming, that made me as digital nomad, as online entrepreneur. For everyone who's watching now and is wondering, how do you make your living, Muriel? You're not touching on that. Well, I make my living online already since I started online in 2013 and I started to make a full-time income. I quit my job in 2015 and the rest is history. I just not really only focused on making money online anymore since then. Since I cracked the code, but I started to teach others how to do that as well. And that's also one of the things that I do. I have a coaching program. And Samara had one phone in town. Yeah, I know stories from friends of mine who live here since 1991 in this town. I heard all the stories. My goodness, it was not fit for me back then. And Harvey is saying, hey, from Pennsylvania, I'm excited that you're live with me. I was touching on struggle as a Costa Rica expat mom number 4 of 6 today, and thanks to the input of Pepe and just some stuff that is passing me while I'm chatting, I was just, you know, getting a little bit off track, but I'm happy to see you guys live. Just keep that input coming. But okay, I was touching on water, Electra, Wi-Fi. If you came to Costa Rica way back, you know it's normal not to have it. But I do know for all new expats coming, for people who just are about to decide, will we be expats in Costa Rica, yes or no? Even on the countryside where I live and in big cities like San Jose, this happens. I have a funny story. I was visiting my friend Wanda, the traveling Dutchie. She's my friend. I was visiting her. We went out. I was too tired. We drink wine. So I decided, you know, I'm going to crash in my bed. I'm gonna shower the next day and then I'm going to the bus around 1. I take an Uber around 11 to the bus stop, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? There was no water and no one thought about filling water bottles or having some reserve. There was no water to brush your teeth with. So we had to go to the store to buy some bottles of water. Can you imagine how I was washing myself, you know, with the sink with bought water? That's just not what only happens where I live. It happens overall everywhere in Costa Rica and you need to find a way to live with it. But it can be struggle. For example, my kids, one of my kids had exams and they do online school. I have a coaching program. I meet my students on Zoom, right? I do a lot of stuff of my business online and automated. So Harvey is saying, do you know when they will allow the importing tax-free for people who are moving to Costa Rica? Actually, no, I'm not sure. I do know that all these rules and regulations and implementing them in the law takes time. And I think they're almost there, but that almost can, it's a speculation how long it really will take. So best is to keep your eye on the TCO times, Facebook groups of Costa Rica, and of course my channel. So I will update you as soon as we know. Does that help you somehow? But yeah, there is just, it's really, I don't know why it is. I cannot explain why Costa Rica has always Electra bumps. It means that your machines break down faster if you do not have a bumper in between the machine and the electricity, because the electricity goes like this. It's on and it drops, and then it goes on, and then it goes out, and it goes on. So when I'm coaching people, I have a box that's like a battery, that when I'm coaching people and the Wi-Fi drops, I'm not just thrown out of my own Zoom meeting. I do have actually air conditioning, Pepe. I do have them in the buses. My son, I'm sitting in front of my son's bus, and this is our bedroom, and we installed mobile air conditioning to keep the mold away, to keep it dry, and also in the hottest time of the year. It can be a challenge. Let me just name that as an extra challenge. It can be super, super humid, and with humidity, mold, black mold comes, and that's a big enemy, so you have to keep it dry, and that's why we have air conditioning for sure. But yeah, I prefer being outdoor and having a very ventilated and by fence space, but it is a tip to use air conditioning for that. But just The struggle can be, my kid had an exam, was very stressed, there was no Wi-Fi, a wire broke, my fiber optic was laying on the road here in front of my property. And that's no fun because, you know, ISA, that's the company you're gonna call, they say, yeah, it can take like between 24 hours and 5 working days. And I have so many stories about ISA repairing the stuff. They can find my home. We don't have addresses. You need to give long descriptions of your location, and that can be a struggle, especially for the kids. As an adult, I chose this life, but for the kids, they don't choose it. You have to lead them to find their way around it, and sometimes that's just hard for kids. So we always discuss those things and always focus on the positivity as well, but you know, sometimes it's struggles as Costa Rica expat. It's just the fact, but I always say, you know, struggle is not useless if you learn from it. And trust me, not having Wi-Fi, I've seen the benefits from it. When the play date of my son came here, a friend, they were outdoors the whole weekend. They were playing in the river, climbing the trees. And when there was Wi-Fi, and Pepe's, that is great memory, Pepe. Thank you for bringing that up about ISA. Yeah, the times have changed, so it makes you also be aware when the Wi-Fi is back, how amazing that is. So there's always a sunny side at the shadow side, but this is all about struggles, and trust me, it can be a big struggle. I've been the longest with 10 days without Wi-Fi. You know, I have automated a lot of my business, and that is one of the things that I teach, but you cannot get around your WhatsApp messages and your email messages that you need to reply yourself. I don't have a robot for that, and I don't prefer to work with a virtual assistant for replying my personal emails. So yeah, anyways, it is a struggle. You don't have water, basically the solution is always have some water stashed, have a well, so you're not depending on the municipality water if they have problems with the pump or with the pressure or whatsoever. But yeah, it's part of it. Struggle number 5 is Costa Rica expat mom, and also Costa Rica for kids. Struggles for kids can be really struggle for kids. The difference is, as an expat, you often find yourself in a community with other expats who are not from the same country as you. That means a lot of different cultures. Now, don't get me wrong, I come from The Hague. That's a city in the Netherlands, super multicultural. I love it. I had friends from all over the world back in the Netherlands, but I assure you, living as an expat in a new country, when you have to rely on only people from other countries, sometimes you get a community disturbance. If you want it or not, it has nothing to do with not liking each other. Sometimes you misunderstand each other because you come from a different culture. You speak differently. For example, Dutch people are overall kind of direct communicators. If we like something, we say we don't like it. If we like something, we say we love it. If you ask me, what do you think about my hair? I will say, I like it. But when I don't like it, I probably will say, honestly, I love it better when you do it differently. But you look great. You know, I will be honest and give you a compliment as well. But I more tend to say as a Dutch person how it really is for me, and not to just say, awesome, amazing. A lot of Ticos, that's what I've learned, are very, they step back from confrontations. So in their communication, they're also not confrontational, meaning if you have a certain project, for example, building a house, that's a big project that can be really providing struggles in communication. If you're working with Nicaraguans, Ticos, and I don't know, an architect from somewhere else, then you have to deal with communication styles from different countries. And don't step over it, because there are differences, and that differences are cool, but sometimes it takes a struggle and an effort to understand each other. And I have a team walking off our property. It was the well digger, he is a Tico, and we didn't understand each other. I said, later on I understand from a Tico friend that I was too direct to him, and he took that as criticism. And I thought, I learned from this. I had no clue that works for you, Ticos and Ticos and Ticas that way. And not for everyone, but In this case, it was really typical. And I heard from other expats, they experienced the same. So be cautious with communication, how you're used to and how you should communicate. Oh yes, Pepe, we had problems with the septic tank, for sure. Yes, that's true. So let me continue with the final struggles as Costa Rica mom for me personally. That doesn't have to mean it's a struggle for you and also not for your kids, but just take it as an example. Living on a peninsula, when stuff is happening in the medical field or when you really need to get your flight, if you live abroad in Costa Rica as an expat in a more remote area, like on a peninsula, you might say, yeah, but there's flights going from Tambor to San Jose in 35 minutes. That's true, but not in rainy season. It's not reliable. Right now with that storm and with lots of rains, a lot of flights are rescheduled. So if you really need to be in San Jose for something like a flight, you have to go over the road. But if you live where I live, you need to take the ferry or you need to drive around for a lot of hours extra. So you need to experience discomfort once in a while, and that can be a struggle and can cause a lot of stress. Trust me, let me give you an example. My daughter broke her collarbone 2 years ago. An accident, super stupid accident. But she needed to go to the hospital in San Jose of our choice, Clínica Bíblica, one of the 2 best private hospitals. CIMA is one of the other ones. That's over the road, and with the ferry, 6-hour minimum drive and ferry. And through the air, 35 minutes. But there was a big storm, so we couldn't fly with the emergency plane. So the girl was in pain for 7 hours on an ambulance in stormy weather on the ferry. And that's, seriously, it sucked. It was a big struggle. It caused me stress as a mom. But they took her there. She got surgery the right next morning. It was amazing. And my son the same. He broke his leg with swinging in the jungle and hit a rock with his leg. It was really a jungle accident. Those things happen. I broke my leg when I was on gymnastic class when I was about 11, but the hospital was 15-minute drive. Here it is a 7-hour drive or a hustle to get in an emergency plane. You see here my struggle? You have to deal with this stuff and know where to start if you decide to live where I live. And I was aware of it, but now after living here for 4 years, I can really say with experience, these are the cons, but this is also the pros. I have this, I'm sitting on my chair really stiff the whole time because I didn't want to wobble with my selfie stick, but if you see what I'm seeing, all the space and all the freedom that we have on our piece of land here, it's really rare in the bigger cities. I don't want to exchange this life with the life in the big city, where I have all these facilities, where there's a less chance of being cut off the internet and stuff. And it's way easier, but this is more fun for me. But okay, overall it was my struggles. I hope that you can learn from it. That's the reason why I share it, not to whine or not to say, well, negativity spread all over. No, it's perhaps you can learn something from it and make an informed decision where you're going to move to in Costa Rica. Are you going to give yourself more time to check out different areas with your kids? And I am absolutely sure that there are communities where it's better for teenagers than here, where I live. Santa Teresa, there is a lot to do, but not for everyone. And it's also a big party community. And I don't know if you want your young teens to be close to party scenes, party communities. That was a big struggle for me as well. How I'm going to deal with that. I know it's everywhere, so I have to teach my kids to protect themselves from, unhealthy party behavior, so to say. So yeah, there's the task as a mom, an expat mom, basically wherever you live. But yeah, I just wanted to state it clear. This is to inspire you, to show you what I've learned, and just looking forward to seeing your comments below. This will be an upload on my channel, so you can always reply. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the second call to action. You can subscribe, just go around my videos. There's always a an image on the screen you can tap, and then the bell, you get notified every time I upload new content. And you can also go to the description below, especially when you want to find more information. There's a world of information below my videos, and there's a little triangle you gotta click. Sometimes it's hard to find if you watch my videos on smartphone, but I have a free training that I give away there. I have some book tips. I have information about my coaching programs. I have information about other videos. How you can schedule a one-on-one call with me if you want to ask me personal questions about Costa Rica that you don't want to ask in public below my video. There's a world of information. Just wanted to state that. And now I'm gonna wrap it up. I was chatting for 30 minutes. My God, I'm such a chatty Betty. But I look forward to seeing you in Costa Rica one day. And this was Muriel and Joey from the Sunshine Family. Take care. Thanks for watching.